This is Design Nations, and I'm going to be showing you how to create this small pewter and acrylic coin or key fob or badge, or whatever you want it to be. So I've made this out of pewter. It's made from a 3D CAD file, which I have milled out of these two pieces of modeling foam. And it's a double-sided mold because what I've got here is the peace sign extruded on one face of the product, and then the peace text, and then on the other side I've got the peace ban the bomb sign here, which shows all the way through to the back, and then I've got these little sheets of acrylic here which I've laser cut, which then creates the colours of the peace flag. So that's the piece I'm wanting to make there, and I'm just going to come across into 123D Design just to show you how it looks there as well. So here we are, this is my Autodesk 123D design, and if I just rotate this a little bit, hopefully you can see there that I've got the piece text extruding out one side, and then I've got the ban the bomb symbol here extruding out of the other side, so it will need to be a double-sided mold. And if I just show you here the outlines only, like a wireframe view, and look at it from the side here, this line here denotes the mold seam. So basically one of the molds will be showing the text on this side, and the other mold will be showing the ban the bomb symbol on this side. So if I just rotate that a little bit there, you can see the text and the ban the bomb symbol. So that's what I'm going to do. That's how it works. Let's just minimize that and have another look at this and explore how it's all working. There's one or two more things to mention here about these molds. So again, here you can see that this is how the piece side, the piece text was created. So that came out of this side of the mold, and then the ban the bomb logo came out of this side of the mold. So basically these two molds are going to come together and be a double-sided mold. Now, to make sure that they align together, I've got some locator pins here and some locator holes here. So the locator pins go into the locator holes, and that makes sure that the two halves of the mold are perfectly aligned and I don't get any mold seam separating the two halves of the pewter design. I've also got here the well. Notice that the well is on the right here and it's on the left here, and that's because when I put my two designs together I want those two wells to be joined. So I pour the pewter into the well fills up with pewter, it overflows into the runner, flows down into the cavity, fills it up, and I've got a riser here which allows some air to escape, and a riser here which allows air to escape as well, and that makes sure we get a good quality casting. So that's how we've gone ahead and made this final product. Now what I'm going to focus on here is the actual creation of the CAD file that allows me to do this. Let's just minimize this and see where we are. We need to go to, oh no, I don't want that. We need to go to here. I'm going to close down there, paint.net. Okay, to explain how this piece ban the bomb sign here is going to be created, I'm going to go into 2D design, which we have here in the workshop, and I'm going to be showing you how it's being constructed. So what I've got here is the basic layout of this ban the bomb sign. Let's put some dimensions in here. We've got an external diameter to this coin of 25 millimeters, and I've got this internal edge here to make this rim of 21 millimeters diameter. So I've got a 2 mil thick ring that goes all the way around the outside. So here I'm talking about this silver or pewter ring here that goes around the outside. That's 2 millimeters in thickness. We've also got the ban the bomb symbol here. So I've got a vertical bar here which has got a thickness of 2 millimeters. And then I've got these two bars here which I need to rotate through 45 degrees, and they also have a thickness here of 2 millimeters, but I'm going to be rotating them around this center of the circle. So let's select this one here, and I want to rotate it 45 degrees as a bearing, so that's anti-clockwise, around this point here. So let's come to the rotation tool. This wants to be 45 degrees. I want to replace it, and I'm going to rotate it around that point. Okay, now let's select the other bar here that creates this other side. Transform. This wants to be negative 45 degrees, replacing it, and rotating around that point. Okay, so that's basically got the idea of our Van der Bon symbol. Let's just get the delete part tool and just tidy this up so you can see it more clearly. Oops, a daisy. I must be more careful with my clicking. There we go. Let's bring that back there. Okay, almost done. And we are looking good. So that's exactly what we want. So Texsoft 2D Design here is really nice to just get the geometry in place. Let's see if we can now make this as a 123D design file. Okay, so let's go new, start again. So let's view down on the actual sketch work plane here. I'm going to come in, I want to work around the origin. I'm actually going to work around this point here, which is 25mm in on the X and in on the Y. And let's come to my sketch tools, let's make a circle. Okay, now it's asking me to select the grid or sketch that I want to work on. So I'm just going to click on this bottom work plane, and I'm going to click here. Notice that it's expanded out the grid, but this is still my origin. So I'm going to come to this point here, 25mm along and up. That's going to be the center, and I want to bring this out to 25mm, but of course it's snapping to the grid, which is every 5mm, and that means it goes from, let's have a see, 10, 20, 30 diameter. I want to go to 25, it's not letting me, so I'm going to dial in the number there, press enter once, twice, and there's my circle with a diameter of 25mm. Let's do another sketch circle now, and it says again, I need to click where I want to draw this. Now at this point I need to make sure I'm still modifying the same sketch, so I want to click on the sketch to add in this new circle to the same sketch. I'm going to bring my mouse across horizontally, I don't want to move off the grid line there, and I'm going to dial that in as 21mm. Enter once, enter twice, and there we go. Let's have a see if we can now extrude that into 3D. So let's go to the 3D view. Okay, let's come to the extrusion tools. Let's click on the sketch and let's bring that up. Now, how far do I want to bring it up? Well, let's have another look at my products that I've made here. The acrylic layers here, colored layers, that acrylic is 3mm in thickness. So I've already got 3mm of pewter here to accommodate the acrylic. And then the text here, I think I set it to 2mm. So I'm going to have a total thickness of this design here of 5mm. Okay, so I'm going to come back to Texsoft 123D design, Autodesk 123D design, and let's dial in there 5mm extrusion, enter. So that is my ring looking pretty good. Okay, back onto the top view. What are we going to do next? Well, let's go ahead and let's do our Van der Bon symbol. Okay, so this is going to be, I think, a new sketch. I'm going to select the rectangle tool here. Did that work? Yes, it did. I just don't like the way that there's not much indication of what's happening in 123D design. Let's click where I want to draw. I'm going to click on the sketch work plane here, and now I get a new sketch. And I'm going to draw in here. Let me see. I'm going to draw over here, actually. I'm going to draw it at this point. I'm going to draw from here a rectangle, which is going to be long enough to pass all the way through this design. Now notice that, look, I started here, so I need to make sure I accommodate for the thickness. Let me see, if I bring this up to about there, that should easily be enough. What do you think? 22mm looks, yes, of course, because this has a diameter of 21. So if I specify this actually to be 23, I'm going to dial in the figure here. Let's dial in 23. Now if I tab this, yes, I'm going to come down to that point there. Let's do a thickness here of 2mm. Enter. Perfect. That's exactly what I want. Now, can I move this? Let's have a look. There's a move tool here. Let's have a see. I'm going to click on solid mesh to move. So I want to click on this, and I want to click on this direction, and I want to drag and move it in so it's exactly aligned there. It's exactly minus 21mm. That looks perfect. And let's bring this down here, and that looks about perfect. There, I am liking that a lot. So do I press enter? And do I click off it? Yes, I do. So that looks perfect. Good. Okay, next thing I want to do here is put in my bars that I'm then going to rotate through 45 degrees. So again, I'm going to try and do this as a separate object over here. I've got the sketch rectangle tool. Again, it's not evident that I've selected it. So annoying, this software. So let's just click now on the, and I did that wrong. I just started a new sketch. I don't want to do that. I'm going to press the escape key. No, 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 no. Let's do that again. Sketch tool, and now I need to edit this sketch. I'm modifying the same sketch. Perfect. Now let's now draw out the bar. I'm going to pop it down here. Let me have a look here. I'm going to come down to about there. I'm hoping that that's far enough. I'm a bit perturbed here because the grid seems to have moved off the actual circle here, which is very strange. Well, if I think about it, this has got to have, it's 21 millimeters diameter, so I'm going to have a radius of 10.5. So if I go to 11 in height, let's dial it in, 11 millimeters by 2 millimeters, that should be perfect. Enter. Awesome. Okay, now can I now select this and can I duplicate it? Is there a duplicate tool? I have no idea. Can I Control C, Control V? Should I try that? Control C, Control V. Have I just got two now? Oh, you know what? I'm just going to undo that. Keep it simple. I'll just draw it a second time. Okay, here we go. Let's just go ahead and do a move. Strange beast of a software. Ah! And look what's happening now. It's moving both objects at the same time, and I don't really want that to happen. So I've made a mistake, folks. I can't drop that there because if I move this, it moves that sketch at the same time. What I could do, of course, is I could just draw this as a completely different sketch. And extrude it separately, but I want to try and do it all as one. And look, when I try to delete that, it deletes both. Oh, that's infuriating. If I click on this, and I click on this, I only want to delete just this. Delete. No, it deletes both. Dearie me. Okay, you know what then? Let's do them as separate sketches. You want to mess me around? Fine. So, draw a new sketch. This was 22 by 2, so it's 2 in the width, 22 in the height. Enter, enter. There we are. Let's move this into position. And up. There. I'm happy. Enter. Right. Let's do them as separate objects then. Let's do this as a new sketch. Okay, so now I'm going to click here. Yes. And I'm going to actually, let's just try and draw it out here and see what happens. If I now drag this out like that, and I make this, let's make that 11 by 2, enter. Okay, that looks nice. Now let's select this, move and rotate. I want to rotate this, and I want to rotate this, let me see, through negative 45. But if I do, it's going to rotate it around this origin, which is what I don't want. So can I move this point of rotation? And it moves it up like that. How very, very fascinating. Okay, so that's also messing me around. I'm going to bring that over to the side there. I'm not convinced by that. Let's try a different technique. I'm going to come to the polyline tool, and I'm going to modify this object here, and I'm going to try and draw these shapes directly onto this object. And look again here, it's messing me around because it's not letting me snap to that point. Okay, so I need to come out here at an angle tab of 45 degrees. Okay, I'm going to click there. Now I want to come back here 2 millimeters at an angle of 45 degrees, and of course now it's dropped me out of that sketch, so now I'm going to have to go back to the polyline tool and keep on modifying the sketch. Thank you very much. Now I need to be able to zoom in and pick up exactly this point here. Now, was I exactly on that point? I certainly hope so. Let's come up here, and I'm going to come up here at exactly 135 degrees. Okay, and I think I'm going to not worry about the length of this. I'm going to leave it there. Now the big question is, has that attached? It certainly seems to have attached. Okay, normally what I'd do at this point is I'd do a mirror of this, but I don't think this software is that sophisticated, so I'm going to just have to draw it again. Let's edit the sketch again. Let's come to this starting point. Let's come out this way, a total distance of 11 millimeters by 45 degrees. Enter, enter. Come on. And of course now I have to do another sketch. Modify sketch. Okay, so I want to start there. I want to come out this way. And it seems to have decided to lock that already, which is very annoying. So I'm going to escape that. Can I delete that? I can. Right, okay, let's try that again. So I'm going to edit this sketch. Click, not drag. There you go. Let's see, 2 millimeters at an angle of 45 degrees. Yes, I'm happy with that. And then finally, let's get that sketch tool again. Modifying the sketch. First point there. And then let's take this all the way up. And let's have this at an angle of 135 degrees. Okay, okay. Thank you very much. Enter, enter, enter. And we are looking like we're almost there. Not easy at all, but let's just see now if we can do some work with this by extruding things. Now, the first thing I need to do, I think, is tidy up this graphic. So can I come to the trim tool? Let's have a look. I want to trim this sketch. And I want to trim that line there, and that line there, and there, and there, and there, and there, and that looks quite nice. I'm not going to bother trimming the ends here because I want this to be seen as a solid profile, and the fact that this has actually filled in pale blue I think tells me that everything's looking great. This is a different sketch over here that I don't want anymore, so let's just click on the green box there, let's just select this, hit the delete key on the keyboard, that's gone. Okay, let's see if I can now do an extrusion of this design. So extrude, come on, work this shape through 3 millimeters. That's for the thickness of the acrylic, and it didn't like that, and it's because it's an extruded cut. If I just undo that there and do that extrusion again, as soon as I do that and do 3 millimeters, it seems to have decided to have subtracted the material because it's part of it goes into this disc. So I'm going to have to force this to be a merge result and then press the enter key. Fantastic. So that is looking rather good. Let's go here into outlines only, wireframe mode, and there we can see I've got a 3 millimeter extrusion there for my band the bomb symbol, and then this rim around the outside has got a total thickness of 5 millimeters. So I've got 2 millimeters here for the text. We're looking really good. I think at this point I am going to stop this video and I'm going to pick it up in a part B. So hopefully see you there.